My friends, you probably, for all of you who have landlines and even now on the cell phones, have heard these messages that are left on there from telemarketers or from, who work for these various companies, leaving you a message. They say random things, trying to promote something, you to buy something, or, and you hear all these jovial voices, hey, you've been selected for, and then they go on off on that commercial tangent, to try and get you to, and then, you even have real people, who call you and they sound exactly the same, they're just doing their job, they're sounding like just the same thing as the recording, there's no difference, so my friends, my question is to you, do you consider this successful, to be like one of those messages, do you think that that's the way that we should be with each other, and we relate to each other on this kind of level, where we, if you've gone to any kind, if you've listened to any of those people, they want you to sign, they want you to get your credit card information. That's the bottom line, is they want you to buy something from them, a good or a service. See, some people there, and sometimes you go on your phone and you find there's like, you've missed, all kinds of messages on there from these kind of people. You see, we can do this, we can offer you this rate and offer you that rate, and we are such and such insurance company, will give you this and that, and you hear all these jovial voices, but they don't even know you, and what they want to know is just your money, your wallet. You see. So my friends, and the people who actually, when you actually hear a real person and they sound like this, what is causing them to sound like this? See, what is causing them to sound artificial? See, so for me, my friends, this is an abysmal failure. When I become, if I ever become like this, to become like this and start speaking with people and acting like this with people. See, so it's too artificial for me. It's rehearsed. It's a script. It's their motives are all got to do with money making. And things like this. Now my question is, we have Christians who are just like this. You see, they memorize the script. You talk to them, you say something, then they have, oh yeah, well I'm blah 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 blah, and then you say this, well I'm blah 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 blah, and then you can either have, how they teach you in sales, or they teach you in, when you do a phone job, how to extend empathy, how to extend sympathy, how to maintain a firm voice, and all this other stuff. So they're teaching you, they're teaching you the behavior to associate with, they tell a policeman, hey, you need to act this way to give this message and that way, so on and so forth. So now the thing with it is, this is what happens, and now Christians, they're like these kind of messages, except they have Bible verses, they take Jesus' name, and they go around just like this. I've listened to people going into poor neighborhoods or other countries who are just these telemarketing messages. You see, and they go around telling people, oh yeah, Jesus saves, and this and that, and they just, it looks like a joke to me. It looks like a joke, because these people themselves, they don't know Jesus Christ, and then the people who don't know that they know Jesus Christ also don't know, who follow them, because they look at their their hype. You see, and how salesmen, they're always hyped up, to get you to buy. Hey, you gotta feel good, You always have to do. I mean, one thing that I worked in sales before, and they used to tell us, that you always, there were certain types of behaviors that would make somebody, would to increase your chances of selling. So what another thing that we used to do was just keep nodding our heads, yes, up and down, up and down, up and down, all throughout the conversation. You see, this is when you were in contact with somebody you're selling. You see, but it's got nothing to do with the reality of who I was when I was a sales rep, when I was doing sales. You see, I was a failure internally, a complete failure. I was involved in alcohol. I was involved in all kinds of wrong things. You see, so this is what I'm trying to tell you, my friends, is that we should not be these fake messages. You see, these fake, kind of learned behaviors that they don't come from within. It has to come from within. You see, and then that means that we need to be filled with substance within. You see, something that's filled with substance, it doesn't need to persuade you over and over again. Oh yeah, you need to, yeah, well, what did you ever think? Trying to persuade you to believe them so that they can get something from you. You see, or they can get your adulation and praise. You see, so, in the least. See, something with substance. You look at anything with substance. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It sounds full. The words are full. You see, they have a backing behind them. You see, because they have been written. They're coming from the heart of somebody. You see, they've been birthed within somebody. Somebody lives that. They've lived that. They've gone through it, or they've lived with people who they've helped people who have lived in these kind of things. So when they speak their words, they don't come from just caffeine and cocaine stimulated moments. I know many people who worked in sales. They're working hard jobs. I mean, it's hard because they work 17 hours a day, and there's so much pressure on them to sell, and then they're fired after a short period of time. You see, so there's a lot of pressure. So they need to do all these kind of things to boost the sales, and then everybody's life revolves around this kind of living. You see. So what happens is you end up becoming a product of that environment. You see, because you never have time to sit down and allow yourself to be filled by the Spirit of God. You see, you're just telling things to people. Oh yeah, because you're trying to make a living. You're trying to sell, and then people say, well, what am I supposed to do? Leave my job? No, but you've got to go to Jesus in honesty and in truth, and say, Lord, this is what is happening here. Make a way for me. If it's your will for me to stay here, then I must stay here. If not, then open up a door, Lord, because this is what is happening to me. You see? So otherwise, you just become some empty vessel. Empty vessel. See, and this is what happens when you talk to God too. You just a message. You're telemarketing. You're using Bible verses and you're saying things, but it's not coming from within. You see, it's not coming from within you, my friends. It must come from within you. You see, people don't even know what it means to be within. See, what it means to be, what takes you within who you are is hardship. It's working, it's suffering, it's things like this. See, what I mean by that is simply that if you work on some project, for example, you want to clean your house or something like that, you can sit there and talk about it all day, all night, and even write books about it without actually doing it. But when you actually do it, then it moves from your head to your heart. Then you start, it's not easy, you may break a sweat even, and then so when you do it over and over again, then you have you have that experience. So there's a backing behind your words now. It's not just up in the air, words that are backed by air, but there's actually a foundation to them. You see, so our foundation has to be in the Spirit of God. You see, that's where it has to be. We have to be rooted in the Spirit of God. You see, and when we're rooted in the Spirit of God, He gives us life. You see, He gives us truth. He shows us the way. And when we have this truth, when we have this way, you see, and when we have life, then our words are backed up, you see, by the Spirit of God. Then when you communicate to somebody, it's the Spirit behind the words, see, that does the convicting, that does all the things it needs to do. You see, but if you're just a telemarketing message, if you're just you might as well just tell somebody, oh, hold on, let me hit pause, and then you pause them. Too bad they don't have a button. Otherwise, you could just pause them. You know what I mean? Or hit rewind and then play them again, and it'll work. You know, because that's what they amount to. It's just a recorded message. You see. So what we have to do, my friends, what is causing this is all these things that people have put themselves around their whole life. In fact, many people have been born into this kind of living, synthetic living. You see, synthetic Christianity, artificial Christianity, steroid in quotation driven Christianity that derives its strength from the world. You see, that's why they appear to be so mighty. They have proud looks. They look vicious and strong. Hey, I don't want to mess with the man of God. You know, many people told me, you know, who are you to say that to the man of God? No, man of God, my friends. If we are all following Jesus Christ, we are all men and women of God, you know. And actually, God esteems the least. You see, so you're exalting this man because he looks mighty. You see, and vicious and very nice, wear nice clothes and shoes and cars and everything, is driving around and, you know, flashing, hobnobbing with the top people. So yeah, you see, my friends, and they're giving you also themselves. It's not really maybe a telemarketing message. It's more into the a deeper level of marketing. You see, but it's all marketing nonetheless. You see, it's all marketing, and it's, you know, nothing to do with the Spirit of God. See. And so people follow these kind of things, you know, everywhere they go. You know, you talk to somebody, oh, yeah, I believe in Jesus Christ, you know, blah blah blah, and you look at this person and they're saying they believe in Jesus Christ, but their heart, they want to leave right now and go and do something else. So it's not even important to them. You see? So you look at them, oh, you believe in Jesus, and then you look at them and they have an urgency to go. They want to go and play something or go and do something there on the other side. You see, they're quoting Bible verses. Oh yeah, you know, every sentence is a Bible verse with a quotation. Ephesians 2:3, what, you know, Colossians this and that. And you're looking at this person, you're like, man, what are you doing? You know, where did you come from? You know, but at the end of it, it's gonna be people gonna ask me where I come from. You know, because it's me who appears to be the alien. You know, but it doesn't matter. You know, and that's the thing, my friends, because I know people who are, you know, who have been lost in this world, and I know what it means to be lost in this world. And when I speak to the people of the world, and you know, and some of them who I've talked to, by the grace of God, they've begun to follow Jesus Christ. You see, and it's all God to do, and all praise to Jesus Christ, to the Spirit of God, because He backs you up, my friends, if you are in His will. If you're in His hands, my friends, He's gonna back you up. You know, when you pray for somebody, when you pray to the Lord and say, Lord, open this man's heart, send him the word, you know, send him this, Lord, you know, that he may know that my word is true. You see, or if you are behind my words, testify of me if I am testifying of you. You see, so many of these kind of things, my friends, you see, but this is not none of this hit play, and the world sees that fakeness, because in them they know the fakeness. You see, the problem is that, you know, the Christians are so infatuated by worldliness, and so obsessed with it. You know, they copy and paste, and they're becoming the maladies of the biggest maladies of the system. You know, instead of presenting a kingdom that is not of this world, a kingdom that is filled with life and the way and truth and substance and depth. See, not this other flimsy, all these games,